Today, we're going to discuss the 5 things that you need to think about before you hire your kitchen planner. Hey everyone, it's Dora from flippinghousesanpancakes.com, and I've been thinking about doing this segment for a little bit. So let's get started. What are my 5 main things that I want you to consider before you hire your kitchen planner or your kitchen designer? Okay, the first thing before we even start that list is that I'm assuming that you have already decided that you absolutely have to replace your kitchen. If you haven't decided that you have to replace your kitchen, do not pay the money to hire a kitchen designer. It's a lot of money, okay? I'm assuming that you have been frustrated with your kitchen. It's too small. It's too damaged. Sometimes your kitchens are just falling apart. Maybe you want to replace it because it's outdated, but I'm assuming you've already decided that it cannot stay. You've already done that calculation. You've already determined your kitchen has to go. So now what do? I'm going to tell you that whenever I go into somebody's kitchen and meet with them and help them figure out a new plan, a new layout for their kitchen, these are the 5 things that I'm going to ask. And if you already know the answers to those questions, it's going to make that process with your kitchen designer so much simpler. Okay, so let's get started. The very first thing out of 5, the first one is your budget. Yes, that is the not fun one, your budget. You need to consider your budget. Now, why do I say that? Kitchens are not cheap. Kitchens are very expensive. Even a simple kitchen replacement, even something very minimal, is still going to cost you a lot. Your cabinets cost a lot of money. Your countertop costs a lot of money. Your appliances cost a lot of money. Oh yeah, and the labor, that's a lot of money. Okay, you're talking big bucks. So even if you're staying in your current layout, everything is just something simple. Even a simple kitchen replacement is going to run you a good amount of money. $30,000 on the cheap side, like maybe, okay, if you're lucky, you're talking $30,000. You're probably need to be assuming at least 50, maybe 60, maybe 70, again, depending on the size of your kitchen and the scope of work. So the first thing you need to do is figure out your budget, your real budget. And what you need to do is when you come up with your budget number, I want you to give yourself $5,000 less. $5,000 less than the number you think you can actually pay. And why do I say that? Because you need to have a buffer. $5,000 of that money needs to be set aside in case something goes wrong. Because in most projects, something goes wrong. They find something behind the wall that they didn't expect to have to fix. An appliance you thought you could keep, you can't. Something goes wrong. Your labor costs, for whatever reason, goes up because something is more complicated to do. You need to keep extra money on the side. If you're lucky and everything goes smoothly, you've got $5,000 left over. So that's great. If you're not lucky, at least you still have that in your budget. So you're going to figure out your budget. How much do you really have to spend on this project? And you're going to go from there. And the reason you need to start with your budget is because it doesn't matter what you want in your kitchen. It doesn't matter how minimal, it doesn't matter how exciting. Depending on your budget, that's what you're going to get. Okay. If your budget is only $30,000, you will have a small reno. If your budget's $150,000, then you have all the choices you want, right? You can do whatever you want with it. So knowing what your budget is going to help you, and it's going to help your designer know, can I put this type of cabinet or this type of cabinet? Can I give her this type of appliances or that type of appliances? Are we going to open up the wall or are we going to keep the wall where it is? Things like that. That's all going to be based on your budget. If your budget allows for it, then you can do pretty much anything. If your budget doesn't allow for it, if you have a small budget, that's going to determine what kinds of things you can do with your kitchen. It's also going to determine things like, do you have to keep your cabinets and just reface them if they're in good condition? Or, it's going to tell you everything you need to know. Your budget is what's going to limit you or allow you the space to do whatever you want. So the very first thing you need to sit down and work out before you talk to your kitchen designer is, what is your budget? Because that is the first question they're going to ask you. And remember, keep $5,000 on the side just in case. You can keep $2,000 if you want, but really appliances are more expensive now, and just everything's more expensive. So I recommend keeping $5,000 out of your budget, that you have the $5,000, but that you don't tell the designer that number. Okay? That's going to help you make it through your design. All right, number 2. Now this one is going to really be dependent on that first one. So this is going to depend on what your budget was. Are you planning an addition for your kitchen, or are you using your current space? Now, even an addition could mean blowing out the exterior wall and adding on. Addition could mean blowing out an interior wall and adding on to your kitchen, expanding your kitchen in your space, okay? Or are you staying within the confines of what is currently your kitchen? So let me give you an example. When I redid my kitchen 10 years ago, I desperately needed a bigger kitchen. It was not enough. And we keep kosher, so I have 2 of everything. It just wasn't enough space. So what I ended up doing was I thought about, okay, how much is it going to cost me to actually blow out the exterior wall and move beyond the wall of my house? And I considered it, and it was a lot of money to add on to the side of my house to have a bigger kitchen. But what I realized was that I had this one wall, and if I opened that wall, I had space behind it because I wasn't utilizing the space behind it as well as I could. So what I ended up doing was I closed actually a door. I closed an exterior door, so that gave me more space in my kitchen. And I opened a wall, and that gave me more space in my kitchen. So I now have a much bigger kitchen. And not only that, but then I was able to run my kitchen a little bit down the hallway. So my pantry part of my kitchen actually runs down my hallway a little bit, which is, it never did before. I actually had my laundry area in that hallway, and I moved my laundry area into a different space so I could push my kitchen down the hall. So I ended up getting a bigger kitchen in the original space. I didn't have to open any exterior walls to do it. I actually closed an exterior doorway, but I got my bigger kitchen in the space I had by opening other doors. So depending on your budget, again, and sometimes you can't move beyond that space. I did a kitchen for somebody. They needed a bigger kitchen. We actually just took part of a wall down and were able to open the kitchen into the living room space, and that gave her the bigger kitchen she needed. I've also done a kitchen for somebody where we just moved a door. We moved the door from one wall to the other and gave her a bigger kitchen because we were able to change the layout of the space, but her kitchen is still in the exact same space it was beforehand. So when you're sitting there and you're getting ready to hire somebody to come design your kitchen, what you need to know is, do I want to blow out a wall and move outside my kitchen? Do I need to rearrange in the space I have? Which again, that's going to be less costly than blowing out an exterior wall. But the cheapest option, of course, is to stay within the space you're in. A kitchen designer will be able to help you if there's a space where you're thinking like, hey, could I expand into this one area of my house? But you need to be thinking about that before you talk to them, because again, anytime you're moving any walls, anytime you're doing anything like that, it's going to cost more. And you're the one who knows how you use the space. So a kitchen designer, I had somebody come in once and was like, before I decided to design my own kitchen, this is a while ago, I was like, okay, I want a bigger kitchen. And their idea was take your living room. I had a decent sized living room. Take your living room. We're going to put your kitchen over there. And then you'll have this little small living room. And maybe that would have been an okay idea. I'd have probably had a really big kitchen. But I loved my living room where it was. I didn't want to move it. So that is what I'm saying to you. You know how you use your space and what you like about your space. So you need to first contemplate, like, no, I would never want to push through that wall. No, I like the separation there. No, I use that for a specific purpose. I can't move that wall. So I want you to think about, would you want to blow out an exterior wall, rearrange your interior space to make a bigger kitchen or different kitchen, or are you going to use the same space that you already have? All right, number 3, the third thing you need to consider, and the third thing that I would ask you in designing your kitchen is, what do you love about your current kitchen? And I know you're saying, but I'm getting rid of my current kitchen, so there must be things I don't like. That's not true. You probably love something about your kitchen. And I want you to think about what it is. Is it, wow, I have this one great corner cabinet and it gives me so much space? Is it, I love where the sink is placed. I like to have this one cabinet next to this other type of cabinet. I like the fact that I can seat people in my kitchen or I can't seat people in my kitchen. Everybody has something in their kitchen that they love. And if you think about it, sit there, write a list, say, I like this and this and this about my kitchen, because those are the things that a kitchen designer is going to want to incorporate into your new kitchen. I love the fact that I have lots of drawers. I love the fact that there's a lot of space between my 2 rows of cabinets. Whatever it is that you love about your kitchen that you currently have, the kitchen that you're going to get rid of, whatever that is, you need to write it down and have that ready before you hire your kitchen designer. Because they're going to ask you, what do you love about your kitchen? And if you know, if you sat there and you thought about it, you're going to get those things in your new kitchen and you'll be very happy. Okay, that was really simple. Just what is it that you love about your current kitchen? Number 4, I think you know where this is going. What is it that you hate about your current kitchen? Yes, I know that list is bigger. Okay, you hate that your cabinets are falling apart. Okay, you hate that you don't have enough room for something specific. You want a specific spot to put your spices. You need more drawers. You need to have a place to put your pots. You need an extra sink, an extra dishwasher, an extra oven. You want a wall oven. You need a bigger fridge. You need to have pantry space. Everybody, when you're designing your kitchen, when you're redoing it, you definitely have a list of things that you hate about your current kitchen. And that hate list is going to be your want list. I hate that I can't feed my kids in my kitchen. I can't see anybody. I'm trapped in, right? I hate this one cabinet that opens into my face when when I'm trying to do something specific. I hate whatever it is that you hate about your kitchen. That's what you want to look for, okay? I want you to write a list of all the things I hate. I hate this about my kitchen. I hate where the garbage can is. I hate this type of countertop because it's stained all the time. I hate having my stove too close to my sink or my stove too far from my sink. Think about what it is that you hate, because not only will what you love tell me what you need in your kitchen, but what you hate will also tell me what you need in your kitchen. It'll tell me what not to do, what to avoid, and it'll tell me what you're really thinking when you're cooking, because everybody cooks differently in their kitchen. And that's going to lead me to the 5th thing. Everyone uses their kitchen differently. I use my kitchen very heavily. I know you guys have you've seen my videos. You know I'm always in the kitchen cooking. I use my kitchen very heavily. I also have a full side of dairy and a full side of meat, dishes, pots and pans, everything. I needed a big kitchen so that I had enough space. I still feel like I don't have enough space, because is there ever enough space in a kitchen? If you really use it, there's never enough space. If you don't use it, there's room. But if you're really using your kitchen, there's never enough space, because you always have more stuff, right? If you're a big baker, you might need huge sections, and it might drive you crazy that you don't have a countertop wide enough to roll out your cookie dough. Whatever it is. What is it that you hate about your kitchen? You want to write that down. What is it that you love about your kitchen? You want to write those things down. All of those things are going to help me as the designer know what it is you're looking for and what it is I need to avoid. Okay? What I want to keep in your kitchen for you and what I want to get rid of. Okay. Number five is, what special things or uses do you need? And that's what I was kind of getting to. What are your special requests? And so here's some examples. I've had I need 3 ovens. In kosher cooking, we have dairy, we have meat, and we have something called parve, which is not dairy and not meat. And a lot of people like to do a lot of their baked items in a parve oven. So for example, when I was designing my kitchen, I said, I want 3 ovens. If I can fit them, I want 3. I have them. I have them. Sometimes you want a second sink. Sometimes you want a mini drink fridge. Maybe you want a pot filler on a wall. There's some issues with pot fillers, but it's doable. If you want a pot filler, maybe that's what you really want. Having to carry that big pot full of water over to the stovetop. Maybe you want seating in your kitchen. That's a big one. A lot of people want to be able to seat people in their kitchens and feed them. Sometimes if you want, I might be designing a kitchen, and if it's just for a flip, I'm putting 3 seats in the kitchen, perhaps. You might tell me, I need to seat 5. I need to seat 6. I designed my kitchen in order to seat 8. There were 6 of us at the time, and I figured, just in case 2 people came over or parents were there or something, I had room. We ended up with 7, so we had space for 1 extra instead of 2. But I wanted the ability to seat 8 people in my kitchen. I've had other people who've also asked me, I want to seat 7, I want to seat 8. That's a lot of seating in a kitchen, and that is going to change how I look at your kitchen. So you need to think about, if that's one of your requests, if that's something you really, really need, then we do that. If you're a baker and you need a huge section of your kitchen reserved for baking, or you have I had somebody who requested a mixer lift, because they didn't want to leave their mixer out on the counter, but they definitely wanted to be able to use it, and it was heavy. That requires an entire cabinet specifically set aside for your mixer. So those are all things that I have to think about when I'm designing your kitchen and being able to incorporate that. So other people also want bookshelves for cookbooks, or a place to put their dog food bowls. I've seen that. There's all kinds of things you might want. You might want a broom closet in your kitchen. You might want roll-out pantries. There's all kinds of things you might specifically want that would be special to you and not necessarily just a generic kitchen. So those are things you need to think about ahead of time. Like, hey, what I really, really want is this. If I could have it, I want this specific thing. And then as a kitchen designer, I'm going to come in and try and fit that into your budget and to your space. Okay? So again, the 5 things I want you to write down. I want you to be ready for it before you go off and hire your kitchen designer. I want you to know your budget. I want you to know your budget so you know how much room you have in order to make your dream kitchen come true. And that will help your designer, like big time, because they'll know, well, I can't tell you to use this material. I can't tell you to take out that wall. I can't tell you that we can put this type of oven. All those things are, that budget is going to tell the designer what you can and cannot do. Maybe what you can. If you have a good budget, maybe the designer will be like, give it to me. Give it to me. We're going to do it all, right? If you've got a really great budget. Know your budget. Keep $5,000 on the side of your budget in case of emergencies. Okay? Figure out if you're going to add on to your house, take over extra space in your house, or stay in your current kitchen space. Very important. Number 3, know what you love about your current kitchen. Write it down so you can tell your designer, I love these things. I want them in my next kitchen. Number 4, remember what I hate about my current kitchen, what I do not want in my new kitchen. Please don't put them in there. Okay. And again, number 5, if you have any special requests or any special uses for your kitchen, something that they wouldn't necessarily know. I have 2 sets of dishes, so I need more space. I'm a baker and I need space to roll out all of my doughs. I need a mixer lift. I need a spice rack near my oven. I need whatever it is. I need seating. Need more ovens or more dishwashers. Any of those special things. I need a coffee maker built into the wall. Or I need a coffee section in my counter space that's designated just for my coffee or just for my tea or for breakfast, right? Breakfast nook, whatever it is. I need a bar added. We have done that. I've added bar areas to kitchens that were like off to the side, but specially designated as a bar space. Whatever it is that you specifically need or want that's beyond a standard kitchen, that will be special to you, that's going to help the designer know how to make your kitchen your kitchen. Okay? And that's what we want. So make sure you know those 5 things after you've decided that you absolutely have to replace your kitchen. And then do yourself a favor and call a kitchen designer. Get them to do the layouts for you. It's more complicated than it sounds to get it right so you don't end up with any other things that you're going to hate about your new kitchen. Get somebody who knows what they're doing. Have them design your kitchen for you. And good luck. I hope you enjoy your new kitchen. It is a pain going through a kitchen renovation, but it is so worth it when you have that beautiful new kitchen to work in. If you have any questions, ask them down below. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications so you find out every time I upload a new video. And by the way, if you look on my blog, on my website, there's more information about kitchen design. So don't forget to check out my website, flippinghouseandpancakes.com.